trying to, oh my goodness. As soon as I hit live, it doesn't want to do what I want it to do. So, it's your girl, Miss Reese here. Ready to dig into my thoughts? Journey into my thoughts? Let's talk about some stuff. It's been a while. Have y'all missed me? I don't know. Have you? I can't hear you. Subscribe, like and subscribe so I know you missed me, so I know you appreciate what I'm putting out. Whether you're doing that, it's helping me. So this is like my therapy, as many of you know, because if you follow this page, you know about Dre, which is my warrior who lost his battle to medulloblastoma, which is brain cancer, in August of 2025. Oh my God, seems so long ago. So I've transitioned back to work, and yesterday was Sunday, I ran into someone at work that had been off, just like I had been off. So they didn't know. And it was weird because I seen them when I got off the plane, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go say hi. I ran up to her and I was like, excuse me, ma'am, I have an issue. I need you to fix it. And she looked up and she was like, oh my God, hey, where you been? And she's so used to me and Dre traveling together. She's like, wait a minute, where's my buddy? What's going on? Where's Dre? And I'm like, oh yeah, here she is right here. Because I had his little sister with me. So I was like, here she is right here. And she was like, no, I'm talking about your son. And the other young lady who was sitting there was just like looking all around, and she was like trying to read my face. And she said, Sherice, are you okay? And I was just like, no. And then the other girl was like, I don't understand. Like, what did I say wrong? What did I do? Like, what is going, like, where's Dre? And I said, Dre transitioned. And she looked, she was like, what? And I noticed a lot of people, when I say he's transitioned, it doesn't turn that light switch in their head. And this was my first time ever saying this out loud. I was like, Dre passed away. And the next thing I know, I'm bawling. She's looking crazy. The other girl at the gate is just coming over, hugging me, and she's like, Sherice, it's okay, it's okay. And she's like, oh my, like, I really didn't know. She's like, I know you didn't know because you've been off. And she's like, Sherice has been gone, and I just didn't know what to say other than cry, because it hurts so bad to say it out loud. And that's what I said to her. I said, I've never said it out loud, so I didn't know how to take it. And I appreciate them comforting me. I appreciate them being there for me. My Delta family has been just amazing throughout this journey. Like, from the first moment that I posted it on our, I'm gonna call it our internal Facebook or Snapchat, as the kids say, or Instagram. And from the moment I posted his story, like, everybody was just tuned in, you know, they were invested, and all the love and support, you know, that we received. Flight attendants flying in, pilots flying into Memphis. Hey, they used to stay at the Sheridan, which is right across the street from the Memphis St. Jude. Well, they only St. Jude. They would stay there, and they would be like, hey, here, can you bring Dre over? Can we come see Dre? And the whole Memphis team there at the airport was just amazing, minus one person. I won't get into that, but, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, and you guys can tell me if you agree with this or not, moments of, I can't say disrespect. It was disrespectful, but moments of bad moments. I'm gonna just say bad moments. We hold on to those, or at least I do. I hold on to those moments, and they stick with you. If you have a bad flight, you know, if the flight attendant was rude, or if you had bad service, or if there was no service, or if the air wasn't working, the person next to you stink. Like you remember those things. And you rarely remember the really good moments. Um, and this was a moment that we were flying from Memphis back home, I believe. Yes, we were flying from Memphis to come back to Atlanta. And I had never seen this red coat before. And the red coat is the person that wears the red at Delta Airlines. Um, and she was just really, really rude and insensitive. And I usually don't call them out, but the way she handled things and treated us was very disrespectful. Um, as a customer, and last year I was a diamond medallion, which is one of the highest levels that you can receive at Delta. So, being a diamond medallion, having a child that's disabled, flying with him, his equipment, um, and the status that he was in, and to be treated that way, I was really taken back. So that moment, has stayed with me, and I've always remembered it. So, write in the comments and tell me about a time, flying or at a restaurant or anywhere in life where you just had really bad service and it kind of stuck with you. So let's go back. Uh, Seeing, my friends from work and having to say that out loud, and I heard it. Sometimes you just say stuff and you just say it and it doesn't, bother you, or but when I said it and I heard it, that hurt. It stung. It replayed in my mind like over and over and over and over and over. And all I could see in that moment was when he took his last breath. And I was singing to him and holding him and loving on him and telling him it's okay. And everything in that moment that I felt, that I seen, that I heard, that I smelt, that I was going through came right back. And after I stopped crying and got myself together, and they were like, "It's okay." And I'm like, "It is not okay. It's an airport full of people. I'm here in Atlanta. Like, I don't want to be crying in front of all these people." Even if they did see me, it didn't matter. But that was just a way of guarding myself in that moment, and a way of telling myself it's not okay to cry. And I catch myself a lot when I want to cry, when I'm getting emotional, and I'll be like, "Girl, don't. It's not the time. Like, let's not." And any time is the right time. And because I've been off from work more than a year, I have to go back through training. And none of them really know besides the people that I know. Because a lot of them came to Delta after me, so I really didn't interact or know them. But a lot of the instructors, people that have been there just as long as me or longer, that I've interacted with, that are at the jet drag with me. Actually, my trainer was like, "I wasn't sure if that was you when I see your name on the list, but it's like, who else do I know with that name?" And I was just hoping that when we did our introduction that nobody would say anything or say they knew me or seen my story. But one of the ladies who's kind of over the department in training, she's like, "You look so familiar. Like, I've seen you somewhere before." And she said that for like 2 days straight. And, we were just looking at each other, and I was just like, "I don't know where you know me from." And I think one of the last days, I think it was Friday. It was either Thursday or Friday. She said, I know where I know you from. She's like, I seen your son's story. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I hope nobody else, knows that that's me. Because I didn't want to have to explain it or talk about it. One of the ladies who works in that building, me and her were talking this morning, and I was actually like 6 minutes late to class talking to her this morning. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for being late on a Monday morning. They have this group called Rich Tarts, and it's for parents who lost their children in any capacity. It doesn't have to be cancer related. She was like, are you coming to the next meeting? And I was like, well, I don't know now. I might have to do it virtually because I'm back at work and, I'll be in operation. And she was like, oh no, like it's in the bylaws that you can attend those meetings because they know how meaningful it is for you to sit around other people who get you, for you to have that time and that space to grieve. And we just talked about how good it feels to be in a room of people who get it, who understand. Just like when I'm around my cancer moms, and especially the moms who've lost their babies, like we don't have to explain what we're feeling. We don't have to say anything. It's just like, I get how you're feeling, you get how I'm feeling. This really sucks. And I'm processing. I'm trying to live. I'm trying to do this thing called life without my best friend, without my everything. And it's hard to describe our relationship and how close we are because he was more than my son. He was more than my best friend, my travel partner, my companion, the person that would put a smile on my face all the time, the person that telepathically just knew what I was thinking, knew what I was going through, knew what I was dealing with, or the same for him. Like we just got each other, and he would finish my sentences, I could finish his. I could tell you what he wants to eat, where he wants to go, and what makes him smile or happy, and vice versa. And it was just like when he got sick, that just, oh my God, that made us even closer. And I remember when they first told me he was terminal, I was like, no, he's gonna be fine. Like y'all say that all the time, like he'll be okay. He's made it through, the worst of the worst the first 2 years, and y'all thought he was gonna be out of here within the first year. Like, no, we're not taking that. And I remember praying and asking God, if my baby was gonna die. And for months, I had dreams of him telling me, what was gonna happen. And I was just like, no, God, he's not leaving. Like, you're not taking him. And when we were on our last Disney trip, when we went to Shanghai and Hong Kong, I was up washing clothes before we went to Hong Kong, and I was just talking to God, and he reminded me that Dre was always his. I had him on loaner, and he was ready for him to come home. And I was like, no, God, like, no, we can't do that. Like, you can't do that to me. Because I felt like he was a preemie. All of my kids were preemies. We had a hard pregnancy and a hard labor. I almost died. I was in ICU. He was in the NICU. And I remember waking up in recovery, and I was trying to speak, and I was coughing up blood, and they were like, put her back out. And all I remember is, in some state of consciousness, unconsciousness, telling God if he brought us through this, I said, both of us, if you bring us through this, I will give him back to you. Now, when you pray, when you tell God things, ask God things, you have to be very specific. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to dedicate him to you, make sure he knows who the Lord is, lives the life according to your word. And God knew all this stuff was going to happen. It was written before he was born. And I just felt like, this can't be real. Like, you can't be telling me you're taking my child. And that's just how I took it. Like, you're taking my child. Like, you're doing this to me. Why would you hurt me like that? Why would you hurt him like that? Like, why would you let him suffer all this time through treatments after treatment after treatment, chemo, radiation, all these different medicines, all these side effects, all these things happening to him that was so unfair, and all these babies. Why would you let him go through all that to take his life? Why would you let him suffer like that if you were just going to take him anyway? And Dre has such faith in God, and his saying was, God's got me and I'm healed. And that came from one day when he coded. And the Harvey team, is down there and they're working on him. And this is the first time that, because I used to love to watch Grey's Anatomy, and then I couldn't watch it after that. They were like, push epi. We need another EpiPen. We need this. And, just Grey's Anatomy snapped in my head. And I was just like, oh my God, like I can never watch that show again. And I honestly haven't, and I missed that show. And actually they had a case on there, and a kid had medulloblastoma, and they did the surgery, and the child was like flipped over. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder if he was like that, in the operating room, but I know that's TV. But anyways, getting back to the story. In my mind, I was just thinking, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dedicate him to you. I'm going to make sure, he knows you. I'm going to make sure he lives by your word. And when Dre woke up out of recovery, when they were able to, bring him back, I take that back. I'm going to go back. So before they brought him back, me and his fellow who he used to see were in, the room while they were working on him, and he's holding me, and I'm trying not to cry, but I'm just like, I'm not understanding, what's going on. And this is the second time, the Harvey team has had to come. This is the second time he's had to be revived. And clear as day, the thing is still saying, boo. Dre wakes up and says, Mommy, why are you crying? Because God's got me and I'm healed. And me and him look at each other, and he was a Jehovah's Witness. And he said, now, if I didn't believe in God in that moment, I did. He said, did you hear that? I was like, did you hear that? And me, I'm the recording queen. I recorded almost every moment of treatment, took pictures of just about everything. I didn't capture that moment. And I thought I was recording. So that's something that he stood by, that God's got me and I'm healed. So I actually put it on his bracelet. Y'all should order some. You should order a luggage tag too. Put it on your luggage. Let Dre travel with you, and then hashtag Dre Strong. Tag along with Dre. Dre tag along. Dre travels. And I really thought, because of his faith, and even in his last days, and he couldn't talk, and I was like, Dre, you still saying your prayers? And he said, mm-hmm. I said, Dre, you know that God's got you and you healed, right? He said, mm-hmm. And I said, Dre, you still trusting and believing in God's word? And he said, mm-hmm. And it's clear as day, he said God's will. And in that moment, it didn't register to me, which I heard him say it. And I was just like, you ain't talked in 2 days. Like, how in the world? Or a day and a half at that point. I couldn't believe he said it. But then I thought, okay, things are going to turn around, and, he's going to get better. And I was like, all right, God, like, I need you to show up and show out at this point because we know it's nobody but you. He's not on chemo. He's not on any type of, medicine. Like, this is just all you and his faith and our prayers. And I'm like, God, you just got to heal him because he's so faithful. He's trusting and believing in you beyond, what any child that I've known has trusted and believed. And I'm like, you got to heal him because that's what he believes you told him, that you were going to heal him on this side of the earth. And when that didn't happen, and even when he took his last breath, I was like, here you go, he coming back. Okay, God, like, I'm waiting. Like, come on, I need you to come through. Like, come on, do something. Change, the outcome, this situation. Like, I'm waiting on you. And it didn't happen. I think still to this day, I'm in a little disbelief because I feel like he's gonna walk through the door, or St. Judah's gonna call and be like, there's some kind of mix up, he's here. Or that somebody's gonna say, I seen Dre. I'll be like, well, you seen Dre, let me go get my baby. That's just easier to me to believe right now versus him being in heaven and not knowing who I am or remembering me or his sister or his brother. Like, I can't accept that. I want to accept that he's in heaven watching over me, talking to me, standing right here with me. But for some reason, I don't feel him. For some reason, I don't know that he's here. I don't feel his presence. I don't dream about him. Besides feeling sad and crying and thinking about him, I don't know. I just want to have a dream. I want to see him when I close my eyes and dream about us doing something stupid together, or a travel moment or something. And I just feel nothing. And I just can't believe that I have to go through life feeling nothing. I don't know if it's this void that I feel that's just taken over. I don't know if it's because it hurts too bad and God's trying to protect me, so he doesn't want to give me a dream, but I'm like, give me something. Coming back home, after and going to his room for the first time and being here without him, it was just like, this is weird. And we used to do this thing when he wasn't sleeping with me. He would start out with his door closed. And when I would go check on him, I would open it. And then when he would get up and go to the bathroom, he would close it back. Then I would get up and check on him again, I would open it back. And we would do that, all night. And so when he would get back up, if the door wasn't back open, he was like, so Mama, you didn't come back and check on me? I'm like, I did. I just closed it back. He was like, you got to keep it open so I know. And I was like, okay. And sometimes he would feel me when I would come in there and kiss him or pray over him or touch him, or I'd be sitting there looking at him sometimes, and he'd be like, hey. And I said, oh, you up? He was like, yeah, I felt you staring at me. I don't know. Like, I could just be my goofy self around him. I could just be the best version of me with him. And I'm going to end this live because I'm almost at 25 minutes. I've been talking y'all to death and y'all probably not paying any attention. So I'm going to end my thoughts and I'm going to come back tomorrow. It's been a crazy week. But that's what y'all here for. To help me journey through my thoughts and let me have my therapy online. And I don't care if you judge me online. I don't care if you talk about me online. I don't care, because this is helping me get it out, feel free. And I'm going to get my grief group. I'm sorry, not my grief group. I didn't even mean to say that. I'm going to get my share group started back up. I will let you guys know when I start the share group back up. It's Saturday mornings, every other Saturday morning at Chick-fil-A on Poplar Road here in Noonan, the Chick-fil-A used to work at, and it's for anybody who has lost anyone to come share their stories about their loved one. You don't have to share like the details of what happened. Just share something that you miss about them. And then this box that I had at his memorial was where people could write like a memory that they had of Dre or a happy time, you know, just anything that they wanted to share. And they're in this box. And so I bought a box with the cards for the share group. And that's just something I want everybody to be able to do. And I have envelopes for you to put, you know, your card in, and you can either take it with you or leave it in the box if you don't want to see it again. And it's just something that you leave about that person that, you know, you just love and you just miss them and you just want to share their life, you know, with everybody else. And working on some stuff with the Dre Strong Foundation. The website is still coming. That should be up and running by next month. Working with a big group to do a back to school drive for kids and parents going through this journey of cancer, of childhood cancer. Trying to do that next month before the kids go back to school, and I am behind on that. Those are all the things that I really have to say at this moment. And I just really thank you guys for letting me journey through my thoughts and go through this with me in my Dre room. Which one does that say? Oh, Warrior Dre. That's what I always call him, my warrior. And Dre Strong, beloved son, brother, and friend. Oh, baby, y'all. I miss him very much. Thank you for joining. Bye. Let's see if I know how to end this time. Maybe, maybe not.